Hello, my name is Kasper and welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video we'll show you how to use the basic HTML tags to build a very fundamental website without any styling but looking like the other ones without CSS, so cascading style sheets which styled properly websites. So we will start with the document and we have now some tags. Tags is a basic element inside the HTML document. HTML document starts with some name and is the .html file. Every file with .html is a HTML file and you can open in the browser and it's opening the website. So right now I'm using the code sandbox. You can have an access to this by clicking the link down in the description. So I have the HTML file index.html and on the right side I have the preview, so you can have access to any changes of this and describe it on your own, edit on your own, etc. So what is an HTML? HTML is basically an hypertext markup language which can describe the website. And I have an example. It's a very basic structure. You start with building the website with these code snippets. So let's go and describe it properly. So I have a doc type HTML. It's a tag which declares that it is a static page made in HTML. Next I have the HTML language set to English. Then I have the head and the body tags. So inside the head tags I have the meta tags which are just declaring this. For example, charset UTF-8 is declaring that this line specifies the character encoding of the website, so we can use multiple characters inside this website with these declarations. Then we have the viewport, the equivalent, and the title. Title is the thing described on the tab. So if I type the static template, it will describe at the top static template. Okay, so we can start with the tutorial and I will go with basic tags. I have the body tag and everything inside the body tag will be displayed on the website. So HTML is treated like a skeleton of the website. If you have a web application, you can treat this as a body and the skeleton is the HTML. Everything what is making this body beautiful is a CSS, and the structure of muscles, for example, is a JavaScript because it allows us to move the website, execute some functions, etc. So I will focus only on the basic core and I will change the title for some custom beginner friendly website. Okay, I will go to body and create some header. By creating a header, I will use the header tag, and you can see that the header tag is done with the two tags, with the angles header and slash at the beginning header. It's just the opening and closing of the tag, so everything inside this tag is a header. And right now I will add another tag which will be the heading, and inside the heading I will make some title, for example header of an app and I have a header of an app in the header. Below I can declare some navigation with the tag nav. I'm also opening and closing this tag, and inside of the navigation I'm using the links, and the links are done with the A tag, but A tag exists only with the attribute href. It's basically a string, a link inside the website to, for example, if I use the hash, it redirects us to the element with ID services. I will add services, and I have a simple navigation to services. Okay, I will add some more navigations. Projects. Contact. And it's the very simple header with some navigation. It's the HTML5 syntax, so you can properly use all of the tags, not only the division, div, every time div. Most of the developers use only the div tag, which is done like that, and do not mention other tags, what is a not super big mistake, but you can use various elements. That's how it's done and why HTML5 was introduced. So I have the header, and I will create a main tag, so it's the main part of the website, and I will call a section here with ID services. I will close the section. Always remember to close the tag every time you open, because if you create some complex structure, you can just forget about that and have some bugs and just figuring out for a couple of minutes or even hours to find this little bug. Okay. Inside the section I will use the heading. I have used the heading 1, is the biggest heading. I will use this time heading 2. Services. You can see it's a little smaller. We have 6 types of headings: H2, H3, H4, H5, H6. There is nothing like H7. Remember it, only use the 6 of them. And inside this section I will use the unordered list. What means unordered? I will show you. It's not including the order with numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, first element, second, but simple points. And inside every unordered list or order list, I have to include the list item, and for example some maybe product, some product 1. I will copy that, paste 2 times, product 2, product 3, and I see the section services with 3 products in another list. I will copy that and create order list. Ordered list, has the numbers indicating the first, second, third element. Make some space. So that's all for the section services. I will go to the section projects. And inside the projects, I will use also heading projects, and this time I will use the tag article to correctly separate that. It's a semantic tag for describing some articles on blog sites, etc., etc. So I had the section services with some heading and ordered list, and now I'm creating, to differ from the section projects with the heading projects and article there. I will add the heading 3. It's a smaller heading just to indicate that's the part of the article, and we'll type project 1 and use the paragraph tags with P, open, closed, and add a description, text description of an article inside the project section. Okay, we have that. I will create another article, project 2, project 2, project 1. So I have 2 articles inside this section. The next section will be the section contact. Like we have in the navigation. I will add a heading to be consecutive, H2, contact us, some paragraph, building, for example, company, break tag, so you can see that the next line will start after this line. And for example, the address 123 company Poland. If I delete this tag, it's just beside. I want to make it cleaner. Some city, for example, state 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, even if we don't have states in Poland. And some phone. Five, 5, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I have the contact section, but what is missing? Maybe I will add a form. So form is added by creating the form tags, and inside the form tag I will make some description as a label, label for Right now I'm typing the ID of an input. I don't have input now, but right now I'm creating the input type text ID name break. Okay, so I have a label name and I have an input for this. Right here I can type something. I will create also the same for an email. For email input type email ID email name email. Okay, that's the same. And I will add a text area to include multiple rows, not only single row, and it will be done with another label. This label is for message, because message can be longer. Message and text area with ID message name message rows. We'll add 5 rows, columns 30, a close text area. So you can see now I can also manipulate that. I have the text area. So I will add also some submit input type submit value submit. And after submission I can submit with enter. The form is filled. Before going deeply into the details, I've included that we'll also add the footer. So after main part, it's time for the footer with footer tag. And in footer, for example, I will add a paragraph, simple paragraph, and I will use the sign for the original. Is done with ampersand, copy, and semicolon. 2023 built with passion. And we have at the bottom of the page. So this is a very simple page. What can be also included? Maybe I will add extra row with the informations. So it will start with adding to the navigation extra link. I will manipulate it with data, and after projects I will go to the data. So I have the section projects. I will roll up and add the section with ID data. Let's start with a simple table. So inside the section data, I will create a tag table with an attribute border, and I will set it to 1. I will close table. Okay, we right now have a table without the content, and caption. As a caption, I will add data table, and below the caption I can start creating the rows and the cells. So it's starting with the T head. It's a header part of a table. I have to open and close these tags. Inside I will add a row with tr and 3 cells inside of the row with a th element. Data 1, I will copy and paste, for example, 2 more. Data 2, data 3. I have the basic table with only a header row. You can see that I can change the border and it's getting bigger and bigger. I will leave with 1, and outside the header I will create the body of the table, tBody, and analogically I have to create a row, trow, and cells with td this time. Remember, td tag for a cell inside of the row in the body. And copy cell 1, cell 2, cell 3. I have 2 rows, header rows and the body row. I will add another row in the body. Maybe I will this time name it extra, extra 1, extra 2, extra 3, and I see the table. So the table is done. I can show also some other custom elements, and maybe I will add another section below this data section, and it will be a playground, just to show different random tags, very useful in the HTML. So I'm going to the rolling up data, contact to have everything clean, services, and here I'm adding the section ID playground, and inside of that I can create a select component, which is quite more complex than a simple input, and it will be also done with a form. I will make a label for and custom select, or maybe I will add options like fruits, label for fruits, and it will be choose a fruit. Where are we? There. Okay, I will also add a header here, header 2, could be mistaken. Okay, we are creating a select here. So I have a label, and now I'm using the keyword select for the select tag. ID fruit, it has to match. Name of the value fruits. Opener, closing. Right now we have no options, just a select, and I will use the option keyword with a value. We start with apple. Add the apple label. So we have one option right now. I will copy that, create 4 more, banana, maybe some cherry, grape, orange. I will change values. And we have entire list. So that's how is the select done. Inside the form I can create a button. So under the select I will create a button. With a text, click me, for example. Yeah, and I can select, click. Right now nothing happens because we don't have any JavaScript code, but it's just a scheme to show you how to do it properly. The next very visual tag, HTML element in HTML5 is an image. So maybe I will create an extra section with gallery. So under the playground I will make a gallery. Gallery, I will add a heading, h2, gallery, we have it here, and I will place an image with an attribute of source, and I will paste some address. Maybe we'll find some HTML memes. So I can go to the Explorer, select some meme, maybe not that. Copy the link. Paste here. And we have an image on the website. It's not looking super clean right now because of lacking styling, but with HTML it's everything we can do without additional CSS. So that's how the core of the website is structured. I have, according to the HTML5, the head, the body. Inside the body I have a header, navigation, main sections, and the footer. That's how it properly should be done. Before jumping into some styling, I will also explain you some very basic parts. For example, we have tags. So the HTML element basically is consisting the start tag and the end tag, but there are some tags, some elements without that. And let's start with the head tag. HTML element is everything from the start to the end of the tag. Start tag has two angles and end tag has two angles and the slash at the beginning. There are some HTML elements which can be or just are made with single tag. There is no start tag and end tag, like image. I have an angle, and before next angle I have a slash. It's a single tag and it describes entire HTML element, which is image, and everything passed inside is an attribute. So image has an attribute source, and I paste URL there, and another attribute is alt, and it's a name, title, just text, which is displayed if image is not loaded. So we can also add some IDs. IDs are very helpful in implementing JavaScript, because I can add ID in every element, and it's like a hook which I use implementing JavaScript to know that this element with ID, unique ID services, I just manipulate to, for example, move around the website, or by clicking it I will run some or execute some code, etc. Another single tag element is a break. I don't need two breaks, it's just done like that. And I have the doc type, which has only angles without the slash. It's not opening and closing. Every tag, if it's opened, has to be closed. Despite the doc type, it's just the declaration that the below document is made in HTML and can be run in the browser. So I can directly copy that and paste in some nodes and save this as HTML file, and I can open it in the browser and display such a structure. So if I will delete that, it should not run. In this editor it's running, so it's simpler. To make learning that a lot easier, I created the repo on my GitHub, HTML tutorial. You have the link right below in the description. You can see a basic HTML structure. You can paste it on your document and just have fun. You have the very basic tags. There is plenty of that, so you can experiment, you can get fun with that. Me as an advanced web developer, I don't use on a daily basis every tag, so barely when you implement application with JavaScript and different frameworks of JavaScript, you just skip a lot of tags. It's just good for the beginning, and you use most common divs, division parts, and HTML5 semantics parts like articles, sections, main, etc. We don't use comments in JSX, especially JSX is just HTML inside JavaScript, so it makes it easier. So I really recommend you to go deep into it just for the beginning. Make a website, you have a link for this document, you can code with me simultaneously, or just change it to your data and be prepared for the next part about styling and CSS. So thank you so much